Hey everybody, welcome back to Dragons on the Wall, IGN's Game of Thrones show. Yeah, we're not your usual hosts. This is Jim and Joshua.
Hey guys.
We're your guides for this
Yes.
week. We're gonna. Erica's out and Rotha's out, so you're stuck with us. So let's.
Sorry.
Let's talk about the most recent episode, The Gift. A lot happened this episode, and I'm with our reviewer Matt Fowler. When he said that he thought this was the best episode of the season.
Yeah,
so
and
far.
full spoiler warning. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Well, why would you watch this if you hadn't? I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, we're going to get into real spoilerish, full spoilers ahead. So you've been forewarned. Joshua, let's just kind of dive right in and talk about the overall episode. Your thoughts on it. Did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. Certainly better than, like a lot of season 5 has been not so great, so it's been better than a lot of the other episodes. I feel like just a lot happened and it flowed really well. I thought it was we got some meaningful steps forward in a lot of storylines, like Daenerys met Tyrion, which was crazy.
Finally, that big fan moment.
Yes, yes, and Cersei finally kind of got what was coming to her.
She certainly did.
No one defies the sparrows. I wasn't wild about the Dorne stuff again, but that's sort of
me too.
How we've been feeling the whole season about that. And we got a ton of time up in the north of just sort of like what's going on there, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, one of the many things that I really loved about this episode is that it did finally give a bit more momentum to some of these storylines. I felt like a little bit like they've been spinning their wheels a bit in certain parts of this season. I mean, I've liked this season, but this was definitely my favorite episode so far. I love that essentially we saw Littlefinger yet again doing what he does best, which is playing people off of each other or making that quick alliance if he has to, and essentially using the same method to get Cersei locked up as what he did for Cersei to get Marjorie and her brother locked up.
Yes.
And then also just the way that we've now seen the Daenerys storyline start to play out. Well, I love that. I love the line that Dario says to her about all rulers are either butchers or meat.
Yeah, that was a good one. That could be on a poster.
Yeah.
It's going to be an inspirational poster.
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool for kings.
I also, one of the other things I really liked was how you did get to see sort of the weird relationship between Tyrion and Jorah, and the fact that, look, Tyrion is trying to hack off the chain, and then the guy just cuts him loose because he thinks he wants to go fight. But I think he realizes Jorah is the only thing still keeping him alive at this point.
No, yeah, he didn't really know what was going on outside, right? But he
Yeah.
came out when he saw the queen. He was like, "Oh my gosh, why was Tyrion the only one chained up?" Like literally everyone else just ran out there.
Maybe they knew he was the most dangerous one because you got to see him kick the guy's ass on the stage. That was pretty great.
Impressive.
Seeing Dinklage just take a dude out like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. That was pretty cool.
What about were there any other elements of this week's episode that you thought worked, didn't work?
I really liked the scene with Stannis. When Melisandre again was like working her like way on him, and he's done so much, so many bad things. He's killed his brother, he's given up his gods, he's set people on fire, all for her. But she's like, "Hey, your daughter has that king's blood," and he's like, "No." That's where he drew the line for a man who had no line before. I thought that was a great sort of moment for him.
And that was a great payoff too to a previous episode where he had that moment with the daughter. And we've not seen, that's one of the more humanizing things about his character is that he does have this soft spot for his daughter. And so it was nice to see that kind of payoff this week. Any other things that really worked for you or that you had kind of an issue with?
Let's see. Well, I suppose the big topic is the Sansa material of just where are they going with that. I kind of felt her section was super predictable because she just very plainly was like, "Oh, Theon, like, here, take this candle, go and save me," because we knew that she had a person who said, the North remembers, we'll come and help you if you light this candle in the tower window. And that happens, and then I kind of saw that coming, that Ramsay was going to figure it out, and is going to kill the woman and everything. Like, so I thought that wasn't very like a tense situation for me. I wasn't surprised by any of that.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk a little bit more later in the show about in depth about the Sansa situation and the way it kind of just developing off of what happened at the end of last week's episode. Ramsay Bolton, though, I gotta say, this guy has definitely started to out Joffrey.
You think so?
In a lot. I really do. I think he's just even more despicable. I didn't think they could ever get a villain as despicable, if not more, than Joffrey. But boy, I really feel like they have.
Joffrey more, just because he was so just annoying and had just so much power. No one could really tell him no.
I think that was part of it too. Is that, you still know at the end of the day, Ramsay's dad can yank the chain on him a bit.
Yeah, no, there was no chain on Joffrey, and so he was like a little more unpredictable and a little more wild.
Yeah. What did you think about the stuff up north? I mean, we got to see Sam as a man now.
Sam the man.
Sam the man. What did you think of? Because there was a minute there where there was a pit in my stomach. I'm like, we're not going to have another rape on the show. I hope
I was like, why are they going there? Like, is that the only way to put a woman in danger is to have her under the threat of rape? And then it's sort of weird. It reminded me of James Bond, where you had remember that woman in, what was the last movie called?
The Skyfall?
Skyfall. In Skyfall, he rescued like a woman who was like, wasn't she like a sex slave?
Oh, yeah.
And then they went and had sex. And it's like he rescued Gilly from a rape just to have sex with her, and it sort of felt like weird for that to happen,
but
even though they had a romance,
for
obviously.
A long time.
But just again, it's a weird like, oh, let me save you from a sexual attack by having sex with you. It was just.
But it was also they also had a they sort of I did like that they found a bit of the humor in that moment between her and Sam, where it's like, does it hurt? Or I'm not hurting you, or whatever. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But also we got to see Ghost again. That was pretty cool.
You know, I'm missing the direwolves. Like in the beginning, remember there was like, oh, everyone gets a direwolf when they grew up into be these like monsters, and they were almost characters in themselves, and they were big players in what was happening. And now they're just like, where are they? I don't know. You see ghosts like maybe once or twice a season.
Yeah, I love how he just happens to be wandering the hall, so it was kind of a convenient rescue, but it was great to see him again. Which also makes me wonder about Sir Pounce. Come on, man, where's Sir Pounce? Tommen, he needs a buddy right now in the worst way, especially maybe next week he'll finally, Sir Pounce will come back, because now his mom, his wife, everyone he loves is locked up.
He needs something to console him while Marjorie is away in
Sir
prison.
Pounce will end up on the Iron Throne.
Yes.
That's why he's just biding his time.
Yes.
What did you think of the way that Cersei essentially played Tommen yet again, oh, honey, the world is rough, and just sort of like, she tells him all the things he wants to hear, or in some cases he needs to hear, yet exonerating herself from any wrongdoing, of course, in it,
I don't know. Their relationship is very like weird. I feel like she couldn't tell Joffrey really what to do. Like she tried, but now she really has Tommen in the palm of her hand. Yeah. And Tommen you could really tell he's a very like soft boy.
Oh, he's a mama's boy.
Yeah, he's a mama's boy, and he has no spine. He's very meek. He doesn't
Although
really...
he had a hint of a little grit to him this week, where he said something along the lines of like, I will go to war over her. Like he really loves her, and just the look in her face where she realized, oh, it's not just about the sex for him. It's like
right. Well, I think it is the sex, really, because
when you're a 15-year-old boy
and you have Marjorie,
But yeah, I almost look at their relationship as like the young teacher who has sex with her students. That's kind of what the vibe I get from those two.
Oh, wow.
Marjorie and Tom. Yes, we went there. But anyways, there's a lot that happened this week, but overall, the biggest moment in the show for you, which one was it?
Tyrion meeting Daenerys.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Cersei getting thrown in the
I thought so. We can debate about this later if you want.
I think we will, actually. I think for me, it was knowing that Cersei now has pretty much run out of cards to play. I think because in my mind I feel like Daenerys and Tyrion have kind of known each other, even though they haven't. I feel like that moment was to me, I don't want to say underwhelming, but it was certainly like, it was great and it was good to see them. But this one, I really felt like, okay, now the stakes felt even higher.
Okay, that's fair.
But we want to know what you guys think of this episode, things that you liked, things that you didn't like. Let us know in the comments below.